Hello once again, everyone. Yes, I, Overedge Props, live, and I've brought my new Shure MV7 mic with me to give you better quality commentary and better quality streams in the future, so be on the lookout for that. Now, in the wake of me getting a new job and trying now to find that work-life balance, which, by the way, will be much easier than my last job, I decided that I'm going to take a few of my older renders and revamp them, instead of trying to do something brand new, or take something that's new in the media and bring it to the 3D space. And I thought, what better way to kick that off than with this dagger I remade for one of my favorite people, Nahoko Veta. Nahoko is an Eldritch God Twitch VTuber, and currently she's stuck in the Far Realm, and she's trying to make her way back to us, to entertain us. And her cat Jaws will most likely be in tow, and he's going to want all the head pats and all the treats. So you're probably going to want to prepare your offerings ahead of time for both of them, just in case. Now, Nahoka plays a variety of games ranging from action, horror, RPGs, dating sims, and she's been known to do art streams and just chatting streams in the past. And I really hope that those make their way back. They're always very chill and very fun to be a part of. And personally, I just love watching artists do their thing. It's a very relaxing experience. Right now, she's currently playing Dark Souls 3, so if you're a sadist and like people hate themselves, might want to pop in and watch that. I've also challenged her to do a dash only run on Hades. Now, this is still in progress, and she's gotten pretty close, so I have faith that it'll happen eventually. And just to sweeten the deal a little bit, I told her that if she can do it and if she can show me proof, I'll throw some gift subs her way. Now, not only are her streams highly entertaining, they can be downright hilarious. And how? Her channel redeems. She has some of the best channel redeems, in my opinion. So, just to name a few that are my favorites, she'll do the uwu voice for 5 minutes. She will rickroll the entire chat, and if you overlap it with the uwu voice, she will do it in the uwu voice. If you redeem Crab Rave for bits, it's almost always a guarantee that she's going to get startled and make a really, really funny sound. And she will give you one of the best ara aras to ever grace your eardrums. And it doesn't cost a whole lot of channel points either, which is really, really nice. Now, just to give you some history about how I got to know Nahoko, uh, Nahoko actually became a follower of mine on Twitter about a year ago after I revealed the Clio Trick flail. She was one of the many new followers that I got from Callie retweeting that. It took me some time to be able to catch one of her streams, since, Far Realm is in a very different time zone from my local time and probably everyone else's time. But I was unemployed at the time, so I eventually caught a stream, and I think I stayed up till about 6 a.m. watching her play Outlast. And when I popped in, she was super kind. She knew who I was, and we talked for a good bit about the Hololive EN debuts and just other random stuff. All the while, insane prisoners are trying to kill her, and she's screaming her head off. But it was a good time. And that stream actually made me much more comfortable engaging with Twitch streamers and VTubers in general, just because I am an introverted person. I second guess a lot what I'm going to say, and most of the time when I type something into the chat, I end up deleting it anyway and just sitting there in silence, just watching. But her content is always entertaining. She engages with everyone in the chat, and it's just she's just a fun person to watch. Um, I remember uh, one night she was doing a just chatting stream, and that quickly evolved into all of us in chat along with Nahoko. We were just finding random like cute animal pictures, and she was posting them up, and we were just sharing random trivia about like bugs, reptiles, other animals, different things, swapping, like movies and anime stuff. It was a really fun night, and that's honestly a memory that just lives rent free in my head. Uh, but her streams can go from like serious gamer mode to just everyone laughing hysterically to meme time really, really fast. So you never really know what's going to be in store for that night's stream. But Nahoko is always one of the first people to like my newest content or just random stuff I post on Twitter. And honestly, I do the same thing with her. She posts up some really funny stuff. Her art is always really, really nice, and she's just she's just a delight. I can't say it enough. I mean, like I said, all in all, Nahoko is just one of my favorite streamers and someone I consider a good friend. Uh, not to get too sappy, but when she did take her break, um, it felt like my nights were a little incomplete for a while, and I definitely missed her. But I understood she had Eldritch God duties to deal with in the far realm, probably trying to make a grand plan to come back to us. You know, but now that she's back, it's really cool. But I just hope in the future, when I'm able to stream, maybe her and I could play a game or something together. I don't want to overstep my boundaries because I'm an introverted weeb that just likes to build things and follow VTubers. But hopefully one day. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, so let's get into the render now. So it's been almost a year since I made my original theme weapon for Nahoko. And in that time, I've learned quite a bit, and I kind of wanted to do something for her to commemorate her return to streaming on Twitch. So while I was sitting in her stream one day, I had an idea. I sketched it out on Clip Studio, and then I sent it to her on Discord just to be like, hey, like I drew this up. I'm thinking of modeling it, and she loved it. So I was like, all right, this is going to be the next one. So I kind of made a schedule for myself, made some changes, and I started modeling it. Now, just like the one before it, I kind of have some fan lore for this dagger. And this one is actually kept by Nahoko's most devout follower and will be the key to bring her into this realm once again. Now, I went with a different design this time around just because I wanted it to be a little more complex and a little more ornate. I did all the colors that I used, I tried to match as closely as possible to her VTuber color scheme. And I think I was able to achieve that a lot better than I did the first time around. But, let's go ahead and I'll walk you through it from front to back. So, the original blade from the original render was a quad section knife. So, I basically just modeled out a knife shape, did all the beveling for it, then copied it and rotated it. That was it. Now, this one is more decorative, ceremonial, like single bladed dagger. It features a lot of blade edges, and I actually made the realization during modeling that my mind definitely took some inspiration from the wrist blades from the Predator movies without my knowledge. But, something from one of my favorite franchises from when I was a kid, for one of my favorite VTubers of all time. It works out. But this time around, I actually had to break up the main part of the blade into pieces. When I was trying to do all the beveling for it in just like one go, or just trying to take like certain edges, it kept failing. So instead of getting frustrated, I decided to do something different, and it actually ended up working. So I did the main part first, did all the beveling for it, and then I added the spikes after, beveled those, and then I used what's known as the loft function to connect the spikes to the main body. And that actually made it look a little bit more like a jewel or something, which I actually kind of really like the texture for. And all the paint that I actually used for actually most of the dagger itself was all custom made in Fusion. So the blade itself has a bluish purple mirror base to it, and then there's the lime green mirror in there just to kind of help break up the color a little bit. So the design of the handle was actually changed during the modeling process. Originally, it was going to be a straight cylinder like the original, but after I got done doing the blade and I kind of zoomed out, I thought it looked a little too plain, so I went with a curved handle. And I kind of took some inspiration from Count Dooku's lightsaber from Star Wars and also the Daedric sword from Skyrim. The guards were also going to look different. They were going to look a little bit more organic at first. But during one of my breaks, when I was trying to figure out how to do certain functions, the design that I had made for it just didn't look right. And then when I tried to fix it, it started failing and I wasn't getting the designs that I wanted. So I decided to scrap those and go with a more blocky design. And then I just kind of doctored them up with a little bit of beveling and some, color choices. And I think it looks pretty good. And The guards also have some text on them, which I wouldn't have been able to put in with the original design. Now, the top guard reads, Nahoko Veta, free us. And the bottom has her Twitch link. And both of those are in a jade gemstone texture. They were originally going to be emerald, but for some reason, emerald made the text see-through, and you could see straight through the model. So I'll have to try to figure out how to incorporate that into future designs. The guards have gloss lime green in the corners, which you can't really see from afar, but when you zoom in, you can see them pretty well. The faces are a black metal flake, and the reason why I chose that is because it looks like space and it looks like stars. The tops and the bottoms have a black-blue granite texture, and the tops and the bottoms of the beveling are all in polished silver. The handle itself is wrapped in a gloss black leather, and the tentacles that go from the handle up into the blade have a metallic flake purple. And to achieve the pathing that I did for the tentacles too, is I used something called the 3D sketch function, which basically enabled me to draw the lines going around the handle then up into the blade, whereas before in the original one, around the handle I used what was called the coil feature, which is good if you just want a single coil, but if you want things to intertwine, it's not good for that. This allowed me to have free form control over the different curves, where they went, how they laid, if they flared out. So that is definitely something I'm going to incorporate into future models, and hopefully I can get some really cool designs out of them. Now, my personal favorite part of both of Nahoko's daggers that I made for her is what I call the Eye of Veta, which is the gemstone that sits at the back of the handle. The design for the eyes are actually from her Twitch banner. The original design that I did on the first one, I just basically copied the picture and then traced over it and didn't do any kind of fancy beveling or anything with it. But this time around, I freehanded it. I put in some different bevelings in it. I tried to break up certain things so that way I can try to get some more color variations out of them. The main eye itself is in 3 parts. The paint is a mix of a gloss and metallic flake, and they're in various greens, blues, turquoises, and purples. And the ellipses on each side of the main eye are actually more eyes, which I did in, I think it was like a metallic flake turquoise. And all those eyes, Nahoko can see out all those, and she's probably disappointed in some of you, so you might want to do a better job of hiding that one file, that you have hidden away. And she is an eldritch god, after all, she can probably see all of that. But all of the eyes are encased around a purple frosted glass textured housing, and it's a bit different of a design from the first one, not too much. I did scale them down a little bit, just so that way the focal point becomes the blade and not the eye itself. And I think with that, it kind of helped tie this whole thing together. And that's it. That's the model, everyone. Now, this one took me about 3 to 3.5 hours to do, give or take, and I'm pretty happy with the final result. I hope that Nahoko likes it. I hope that the rest of the devout followers like it, and hope you, the viewer, as well like this design. I can't stress this enough. Please, please, please go follow Nahoko over on Twitch and Twitter. Come join us for a stream. It's always fun times and good vibes, and you're almost guaranteed to laugh every stream. I'll link all of her info down below in the description for you. And Nahoko, if you're listening, and if you made it this far, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support and your friendship over this past year. You've been so much fun to watch, to talk to, and just to make stuff for. People like you make me feel like I'm doing something right and that I'm getting better at this hobby of mine. And that's what's really kept me sane for this past year and a half. I hope that your Twitch channel and the community continues to grow and that the Far Realm is treating you well. And honestly, can't wait for the next stream that I can catch, to either see you scream your head off or, laugh along with you. I always have a great time in your streams. But everyone else, thank you so much for watching and for your support. If you aren't already, you can follow me over on Twitter, on Instagram, and over on my Twitch channel. My Twitch channel doesn't have anything yet because I can't stream, but hopefully in the near future I'll be able to. You can find all the links to my social medias on there. And then when I finally am able to stream, I can show you guys this entire process from start to finish. I can answer any questions that you may have, and I'll try to have some fun redeems on there just to make it, not just watching me put a bunch of lines together and then make some shapes. But I'm Overedge Props. Again, thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Never stop being creative. And I'll see you in the next render video.